Hello everyone, and welcome to sort of a kind of quick update video that I'm going to run through very quickly. If you are seeing this, then that means you are either watching this on the day it's being uploaded, or you have accessed this in the NinjaGo Dark Island playlist. So what this playlist is that this is where I'm keeping all versions of the Dark Island trilogy. Now, what do I mean all versions? Well, before today, as of the day this is being uploaded, there was only one version of my Dark Island stop-motion trilogy that was out there, and it was the Dark Island stop-motion trilogy. It was parts 1, 2, and 3 in their 20 to 30 minute ranges, and that was the way that I had the Dark Island presented for viewing. So that way, it can be an easier experience to find and enjoy that story, since the original comics that the story is based on is so hard to find. However, starting today, there will now be a second way to view the Dark Island trilogy, and this is what I'm calling the canonical cut. What the canonical cut is that it is the Dark Island trilogy again, as I've already presented it. However, I am cutting out the parts with Dareth and Pixel, which take place during Master of the Mountain, because Pixel makes a reference to the fact that the ninja have gone away, have left the monastery, and they're in Shintaro while the story is being told. And the reason I did that with the original production is that it was a way to tie it into, at the time, modern NinjaGo and what was going on at the time, since the Dark Island trilogy is an older story at this point, from 2016. However, with the canonical cut, I am removing that so that way it can be a little bit more digestible if you're doing a rewatch of the show. So say you start all the way back with the pilots in season 1, since like the majority of the shows on Netflix at this point, including season 14 now, which is The Island and Seabound. So if you're going through an entire rewatch and you get to the point where the Dark Island pops up, you can watch the canonical cut. And since I remove all the Dareth and Pixel parts, then that means there's not going to be any reference to future seasons and stuff like that outside of a couple of kind of. I think what it would be good foreshadowing or setup that would then come later in, say, Hands of Time or March of the Oni, or really the Oni trilogy in general, starting with Sons of Garmadon. So, because, with Dareth and Pixel there, there's a direct reference to season 13 and other stuff. The monastery is rebuilt, and that'd be confusing if you watched it in chronological order. That way, if you watched it in between Skybound and Hands of Time. Now, with the canonical cut, you don't have to worry about that, because each episode is going to cut out all that, and it's just going to be the story of the Dark Island trilogy without the additive parts that I put in, that I put in there. The original versions that I put up will still be accessible. I am not taking them away. And honestly, if you have never experienced the story of the Dark Island before, I think that this is the preferred method of going through it. So if you're watching this video and you haven't seen the trilogy, go ahead and watch it. I think it's really good. I had a lot of great people working on it with me, and we had a fun time making it through voice acting and stuff and all the animation. So if you've never experienced the story of the Dark Island before, and you want to, I'd recommend that you watch the 3-part trilogy that I put up. Now, if you have already experienced the story of the Dark Island trilogy, and like I said, if you're going through a rewatch of the show, then that is what the canonical cut is for, and that will be separated into 10-minute episodes, more in the style of the current Wild Brain era, where the episodes are shorter in length. One of the reasons I did this was, of course, to make it so that way you could watch it this way during a rewatch of the show, and also as a editing challenge for me, because as I was going through and editing it the first time, I noticed that some of these segments you could remove and remove from the episodes that the parts, the trilogy that they belong to, and make this would be a 10-minute episode. You could show this on TV along with an actual episode of NinjaGo, except for the fact that it's fan-made, not an official production, but you get the idea. So I decided to, as an editing challenge, do that with the whole thing. So starting today, on Monday, the 22nd of November, every Monday there will be 2 episodes of these 10-minute versions of the Dark Island going up until it's all done. And so so there'll be 2 episodes put up every Monday, and that is and the reason I'm doing 2 episodes instead of just 1 is because those 10-minute episodes are those 10-11-minute episodes of the show currently. Well, I say this in theory. I don't actually know if the show is shown on TV anymore, because everyone just watches it on YouTube. Anyway, you get the point. because those 2 episodes would launch in a week and be put into a half-hour time block. So that is why I will be doing it that way. They will be separate uploads, and they will go into this playlist that you have either already clicked on or are maybe hopefully going to check out after this. So yeah, that's basically it for this update. That was just kind of a brief little summary of how the Dark Island Trilogy is going to work and how you can watch it here on out. Both versions are going to be accessible. You can watch it both ways, and I hope you guys enjoyed it if you've already watched it, and if you haven't watched it yet, then I hope you do enjoy it. So that'll be all for this video, so thank you for watching. Goodbye, and please enjoy the Dark Island story no matter which way you decide to watch it.